Ladies and gentlemen, the How Far Down podcast is brought to you by
the How Far Down merch store.
Here we got our featured shirt of the week, our laserproof blue t-shirt. Protect your torso with his laserproof blue How Far Down t-shirt. Which one do you like the best?
I'm going to go with my top. Let's see. These are all nice, but bam! Bigfoot, baby.
That's
Vintage style Bigfoot and a unisex. They're all unisex, by the way.
Yeah.
How about you? What's your favorite?
I like Bribin 24/7 a lot, but
that's
I think
a good one.
my absolute favorite is right here, bro, at the top. This alien chick.
Yeah, that's
my
a top
favorite.
seller. Top seller right there. You too can have these shirts. We want to thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support. We'll put all the links in the bio to the store. Thanks so much. Billy Elric.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Christmas time. Trying to get the shopping done.
'Tis the motherfucking season.
Oh, God, it's so stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I could do a whole 30-minute rant on
I'm sure you could.
Christmas. I could.
I'm sure I would.
But that's not the topic today.
It is not the topic today. The topic today is distractions. World distractions. Namely, this.
I don't care how long he works and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum, and he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. He has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth.
Oh, boy.
Yeah? My favorite part of the video is when he gets towards the end and the dude takes off his San Fran hat. He's like...
The reaction,
yeah. Like, I'm not going to be one of these guys distracted by this. What do you think of this? What do you think of this cat? He seems very peeved, right? He seems disgruntled.
Oh, he's
like he got fired from something.
He's bent for sure.
He's bent, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not making sense, but he's bent out of shape.
You know, man, obviously this is an old video.
Yeah.
Guess.
God, that looks like the 80s, yeah?
80s probably. And then, you know, he says nobody's worth $2 million a year, you know, adjusted for inflation.
20 million.
You know, well, I mean, like basketball players, bro, making 40 and 50 million.
Yeah, it's crazy. Baseball. Ohtani
just got his
700 million? Over 7.
Bro, did you see what he did with his contract though? He's deferring $68 million a year until after it's over. Check it out.
Every year?
Check it out, bro. From 24 through 34.
He's going to take $2 million.
$2 million bucks a year. And then for 10 years, and then he's not on the Dodgers anymore.
Right. And they're going to owe him.
They're going to owe him
68 times 10.
Yeah, between like 2034 and 2044. But check it out, bro. On the press release, he says, you know, oh, this is so that they still got some money to get other players and we can win championships and blah, blah, blah. But check it out, man. That's a fucking lie. This guy's got the discipline, bro. He doesn't want to pay that fucking 15% California state income tax.
Yeah, he's smart.
It's like $100 million over the course of his contract. Just the state income tax. I'm not even talking the Fed.
Yeah.
Not even talking the Fed, property taxes, nothing that. Just the California state income tax. So if I'm thinking, I'm just speculating, but it looks like to me, like the dude is like, yeah, I know I'm getting 700. I'm not donating $100 million to the state of California.
You're being nice saying donate. I think it's theft.
Yeah, right. So anyway, bro, so he's got the discipline, bro. He's gonna just take the two. I'm sure he'd get all of his Gatorade money and his Nike money and
Yeah.
whatever. He's still going to probably be bringing in 30, 40, 50 million a year anyway.
Well, and how much fucking money does one person really
But
need?
when that 68 per year starts coming in, he's just going to move to Japan
Yep.
right before that.
Yep.
And then he's not a California
Now that's
state.
speculation. You don't know if he's going to Japan just because he's Japanese.
Wherever the fuck he goes. Maybe he just goes to Nevada where there's no state income
Right.
tax. I'm
Yeah.
thinking Japan because then they really can't fucking touch
Yeah, that's
you.
true.
You
That's
know?
true. You got fucking samurai there.
Right?
I want to do an episode on samurai because some fucking those
There's
guys are
some-
gnarly.
bro, I
dude.
got a close buddy who is a samurai enthusiast,
Mm-hmm.
and it's some fucking wild shit. But anyway,
Yeah.
we just did it, bro.
What?
We got distracted.
We did get distracted. Yeah, but we got distracted talking about history. Samurai. Do you know the Mongolians tried to invade the samurai? They invaded everywhere. They dominated everybody except Japan. They couldn't because the samurai fucked them up.
Virtually nobody could. That's why Japan has been Japan for thousands of years. It's never been mixed or conquered.
I do think
or
that's
nothing.
worthy of an episode, even just the samurai in general, and the fact that the Mongols tried to dominate them. But anyway, let's get back to this. Sorry, I did get sidetracked.
Sorry, man.
But it fits with the theme, right? Distractions. But he's disgruntled, but he's got a point to me. I've always kind of thought, there is that effect. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on in the world, and it's depressing, quite frankly. I mean, the distractions can actually be a good thing.
Right.
But I think what he's referring to is it's on purpose, right?
Yeah. He's alleging a larger conspiracy, that all these leagues are propped up on purpose,
Right.
to dumbing down the population.
Yeah.
And he's tying it with some historical references, the Roman Empire. And
I think there's something to this. What do you think? Do you think he's just like off his rocker, pissed off? Or do you think that he's making a good point?
They're not mutually exclusive. This is one instance where being non-binary kind of makes sense. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. This guy is disgruntled, and he's wrong. He can be disgruntled, he can be bitter, and he can be totally fucking right.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would lose the rest of his hair, bro, if he saw what they make now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder where he is. He in the ground? Do you think it was in the
he
early
didn't
'80s?
look too old to me. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, but he seemed very
never
stressed
know.
out.
He was stressed out, bro. Thinking about an athlete making $2 million a year caused his hairline to recede a bit.
A bit. Yeah, I mean, what they're making today. If you saw Ohtani's contract, holy fuck. I mean,
Dumb,
in
bro.
baseball players, it's not even the riskiest sport. It's crazy. I mean, it's the wealthiest sport, apparently.
It's not about your risk. It's about your value.
Sure.
It's about how many
It's a
eyeballs,
big market.
How many eyeballs that you're going to attract.
I will say this. I'm glad out of anybody in the MLB that he's getting paid the most because no one's doing what that guy's doing. I mean, when's the last time someone's pitched and hit the way he is? It's Babe Ruth. It's the last time it's happened.
Yeah, I mean,
To that extent, like to that ability.
I mean, come on, bro. That's only 100 years ago.
Yeah, crazy. On this that thing on the screen was just talking about 2 Maccabees 4:12 through 16. I think it
Yeah,
was.
dude. I'm not familiar with the Maccabees.
I wasn't either.
No,
I pulled it up for you though. You want me to read it?
I'm very curious.
All right. So this this really goes hand in hand with what he was saying. He was giving the layman's terms, but 2 Maccabees 4:12 through 17, but I'll stop at 16.
All right.
2 Maccabees 4:12 through 16 is, with perverse delight he established a gymnasium at the very foot of the citadel, where he induced the noblest young men to wear the Greek hat. The craze for Hellenism and the adoption of foreign customs reached such a pitch through the outrageous wickedness of Jason, the renegade and would-be high priest, that the priests no longer cared about the service of the altar. Disdaining the temple and neglecting the sacrifices, they hastened at the signal for the games to take part in the unlawful exercises at the arena. What their ancestors had regarded as honors they despised. What the Greeks esteemed as glory they prized highly. For this reason they found themselves in serious trouble. The very people whose manner of life they emulated and whom they desired to imitate in everything became their enemies and oppressors. That's pretty heavy, pretty deep.
It's some heavy shit, man. I hate to go off on a complete tangent, but it sounded like maybe some pedo shit.
I don't mean to laugh because that's some serious shit, but
the opening line, what was it? He established a perverse gymnasium where the best-looking kids in the kingdom could frolic or some shit.
I mean,
specified a perverse gymnasium, and then they start talking about having the strongest boys from around compete. But then the priests lose interest in the cloth, bro. Looking at the boys.
I don't think it's outrageous for you to connect those dots. I don't. I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about, but there's something in there. I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
It could be some connection there. But clearly that line, where is it? That the priests no longer cared about the service of the altar, disdaining the temple and neglecting their sacrifices, they hastened at the signal of the games, or for the games. Forgetting all about what they're there for.
Right.
Even the priests being distracted by the games, right? And for a reason, right? Let's take them away from what we want to take them away from, what we don't want them to do, and have them focus over here. So while they're focusing over here, we can do this and this and this behind the scenes, right?
Right.
I mean, there's a good argument for that and what's going on in the world today. You always see that shit where, Ukraine war's going on, and then, what was it? When was it with the, the submarine thing?
Oh yeah.
Became a big story.
What the fuck was the name of the submarine, man?
I can't remember, but it took away from what was really going on, like a lot of shit that was going on.
Right.
And the main focus was that the poor thing that people inside the thing imploded on them, like it crushed
gnarly.
like a can.
It was fucking gnarly. But
I mean, it captured people. Like I found myself like reading about it.
I was all about it because it was just the wildest fucking story. Just
right.
Kind of
and fascinating, and it makes you wonder. Like, it just makes you wonder if this guy's onto something. It does. I have to admit that he may be disgruntled and angry, but he could be right, like you said.
Man, if that verse is not some coded message or misinterpreted, and this guy is speaking the truth, like, I mean, bro, it just sparked my mind when you said, the war in Ukraine and stuff. Like, bro, those are just the fucking Coliseum games too.
Yeah.
Iraq is
right.
the same shit as a Coliseum game.
And what is that distracting from? Like, it makes it sounds like an endless hole. Like you could go down.
Sure.
How far down?
Sure.
You fucking keep going and going and going.
Yeah, no far down. It's too far down.
Because it's hard to figure out, what the distraction is, what they are distracting you from, we're in the most, at least in my lifetime, in your lifetime, the most confusing state ever. It's like, who do you trust? What do you believe? Even the things you see, you can't believe because it could be doctored. It's so easy to do that shit. Like, it's crazy to just, you want to form opinions, but it's hard to back any of it up because someone could always come, well, that could be fake. I mean, they got a point. It could be fake.
Sure.
At some point, you kind of just have to use as much logic as possible. Understand that there's more things possible in the world than I think people realize. I think people rule out crazy shit, conspiracy theories. That's what the label is thrown on, and then years later they become actually true.
Right.
But that's they're not held accountable for being wrong about their assessment of it. And the people that believed it when it was first brought up, are they ever vindicated?
No, there's no apology.
No,
there's
like
no apology
Alex Jones
or whatever.
He's just Elon just let him back on Twitter, I guess.
Oh, cool.
But there's a great example of, he had his moments where he might have gone too far with some things, but the motherfucker was right about a lot of shit. I think we've said that a few times in this podcast. But
wild shit.
I mean, some crazy, and he'd been saying shit like this years ago, talking about climate change stuff and just tons of stuff. You could look him up, and there's tons of stuff on conspiracy theories that he had talked about that actually became true. So, I mean, largely what this guy's saying, people are going to label it, oh, that guy's crazy. But in my opinion, he makes a good point. I mean, TV, right? How many fucking shows are there? How many sports games are there? How many things are there out there to distract us from what's going on in the world? The actual things that are going on in the world today. There's a shitload. There's an endless supply of it.
Right.
Then you've got your screens, your tablets for kids. Like, there are a lot of distractions out there. Whether that's on purpose or not, I guess, is really what's in question. What do you think? How far down would you go that this guy, what he's saying, you believe? Like, you think it's how far down would you go with the truth? How much truth to what he's saying?
I think it's true, bro. I got to go gospel. No pun intended, but I got to go gospel. I mean, I'm 100% victim to this.
We all are to an extent, right?
But specifically to the sports, the specific reference that this video makes.
Yeah.
I fucking love the NFL, bro. I love it. I love it.
It's great. Sports are fucking awesome.
And
but
I do watch it for 7 fucking hours straight on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
well, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're being fooled, right? Like, if you are acknowledging you're human, right? You do need the distractions, and you might know it's a distraction, but you want it anyway because the real shit, it's fucking depressing.
Yeah, right? But man, I've always been focused on the purposeful distractions within the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it never really occurred to me that the whole game and the whole league and everything itself is the distraction.
Yeah. Until now, yeah.
I think some of the games are corrupted. I don't think all of them are corrupted.
Yeah, I do think. I think there's definitely some foul play. For sure.
But yeah. Once in a while, they're corrupted, like 100%.
A lot of money to be made. Yeah.
A lot of money going in different directions, and so I don't know, man. When I'm watching the game, and then you kind of get that once in a while, you get that like, oh really, refs? Oh really, player X?
That's a bullshit call.
Or whatever, or that was a bullshit throw, or like.
Or like, why did Patrick Mahomes not run into the end zone at the beginning of the season? What game was that? I can't remember. So stupid.
It was, yeah.
That one really threw me off.
Against the Jets. We could do a whole episode. Maybe on
the Chiefs alone, probably.
I was just gonna say on the Chiefs this season.
Yeah.
Maybe, dude. There's only a few weeks in the season left. I'm sure they're gonna give us at least 2 more.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Maybe we should do an episode on that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
There's plenty of material.
We could find a few examples throughout the season, put them together, let the people decide for themselves. But
so gospel with this, I'm with you. I do think that in large part, not just sports, but all the entertainment out there. Now, yes, I think it can be a distraction, whether it's on purpose for specific reasons. I don't think everything is. I don't.
Well, how far down? This guy is alleging that that all the major sports are a purposeful distraction propped up by the oppressing power of the world governments.
When you say it like that, it does make me think
How far
that
down
that's
on
very
that?
possible. I might go with very likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that that it's all set up, so we are distracted.
Right.
Now I want to get into like the reasoning. All right, is it because they want us distracted because it would just be awful, miserable otherwise, and not a very fun society? Is it done not in vain, but in by way of sympathy? Not sympathy, even more of,
Goodwill.
I think that's possible too. That's a tough one. That one I'm definitely more in the middle. We need to dig deeper to see how far down maybe with that. But right now, if you were to ask me whether like the reasoning behind it, I think some of it is in vain. I think some of it is goodwill. I think in large part it gives control. Period. Right? If it's all meant for it to be a distraction as a whole, that gives power away, right, to whoever they are, whoever's in charge, in control.
Right.
So I guess in that sense, to me, that is a bit in vain, organically, from its roots.
Sure.
That makes sense?
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's likely, unfortunately. I think there's the distractions work. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't dig in as deep as you and I may do about things, the things we talk about, and the things that are really going on, and people just don't want to know or don't want to believe.
Right.
And in large part, those distractions do help in that sense, right?
Man, the first thing that he kind of talks about. No, the first thing he talks about is $2 million, but the Roman Empire using the Colosseum and the gladiator games and a lot of other stuff like that purposefully as a distraction because the fucking thing was falling apart is well documented.
Very well documented, yeah.
Historical fact. I think it's pretty safe to call that a historical fact.
It is, for sure.
So the fact is that they've been doing this for fucking thousands of years, bro. Of course they're still doing it now.
Yeah. When they saw, history showed that it worked, right? It was largely worked largely a distraction for a lot of people while the empire fell. Incidentally, one of the things that happened before the empire fell was, how would I phrase it? The sexual confusion or sexual orientation, confusion of sexual orientation. Those kinds of things were going down before Rome fell.
Right.
Like a lot of empires before they went down. And we have that going on right now today. Right?
I don't know, bro. I mean, we got the gladiator games.
We got the gladiator games,
we got
i.e.
the confusion.
Sports. Yep.
We got the unrest is definitely there.
Yeah. What does that mean, though? When's it going down?
I don't know.
When does this empire crumble? Does it crumble? How far down? Ooh. Well, how far down that the United States as the power that it is crumbles in the next 10 years?
Do you need some parameters first? Number one, I need a parameter on crumble. What do you mean by crumble? And then number two is how long? Oh, you just said 10 years.
I'll give you that. Within the next 10 years. As far as the parameters of what sort of crumble, no longer the world's superpower. If we even are.
I mean, I'm going to kind of say right now.
It's a confusing state of affairs now. So
I feel like probably when the rubber meets the road, we could still be the top dog. But the fact that it's even contested at all is
troublesome.
Failure.
Yeah.
Because we're the undisputed champion for a long time.
Well, because within that, think about how many people are going to suffer that are actually suffering now.
Right.
Like we've got a lot of crisis, like homeless crisis. We've got looting. We've got riots happened when COVID hit and all that stuff. Black Lives Matter shit.
Bro, is the looting just the fucking gladiator games? I feel like the looting is the gladiator games, brother.
I think that's a brilliant point, and I agree with that 100%. I do think that is because, and I had this conversation the other day with one of my clients, and why else would they be allowing this?
Because there's unrest, just as there,
which they want,
and there's unrest, and they're just trying to placate them, just pacify them, to keep that unrest out of the
people afraid,
out of the path of the Congress and the Senate,
right,
and whatnot,
But also, it's a fear tactic too, right? It's people are afraid now. Some people are afraid to go to stores because they don't want to fucking deal with that shit.
I don't want to fucking deal with it, bro.
I don't want to deal with it either. But it is largely one of those things. Like, there's a lot of fear mongering going out there. The COVID shit was in large part, okay. I know people died, and that's terrible, and my heart goes out to them and their families.
Right.
Let's be honest. Now we know a little bit more about it. It was a lot of people were scared.
There was lots of fuckery in every direction.
Yeah.
In every direction.
Every direction.
It was nuts, but
yeah, you're right. Like it is partially like we have our actual we know as sports, and then we have things going on that is a bit of sport, right? It's in theory they're using it in the same sense, right, to distract from what's really going on,
right,
and to create division. When I think about, with Trump coming in to the picture years ago, however many years ago it was now, I mean, and then the attacks. Mainstream media attacks on him, a lot of the lies that they portrayed, said about him. Division created so much division in this world, in this country, mainly in this country, but all across.
You know what I think? You know what I think helps the division that we got now? I think it's been long precedented by the divisions in pro sports.
Go on.
Okay, in football, right? Okay, like my grandparents are from Michigan.
This is a Billyism.
Yeah, my grandparents are from Michigan. My dad too. So growing up, they're Lions fans. And dude, if you're a Lions fan from Michigan, you think that every single person in Wisconsin is a scumbag, a piece of shit, a fucking loser. Because you hate the Packers.
Right.
And it's as simple as that. Listen, bro, you like the Packers? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It's like it's a real bred in hatred.
Even better, way better than that, Michigan Wolverines versus Ohio State. You really want to fucking see some prejudice? Tell someone from Ohio State you're a Wolverines fan. Or vice versa. You really want to be prejudged with somebody just on something superficial and really feel the fucking hate. And so check it out, bro. If you grow up like this, thinking that everybody who's a Bears fan is a fucking twat,
or Packers,
right? Or whatever your team is, bro. Every team's.
Well, I have a follow-up example, and I agree with you on this, by the way, because I come from Boston.
Okay, who they hate over there?
Yankees fans. They hate them.
Red Sox hate Yankees.
Red Sox, Yankees.
Bro, this is a perfect example. 100%.
So here's the deal. I've been a sports fan most of my life. I took hiatus from it for a while, and it was in large part because of what you're talking about right now, which I found it absurd.
Sure.
To hate a Yankees fan just because they're a Yankees fan.
Right. Just because they're a scumbag.
Yeah. It's because they're a piece of shit that has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
No, I always found that a bit silly. Like, really? I mean, because I know with some people it was just talk, but I know people that were like, oh no, I hate them. I will fight them right now. And that always sounded so stupid to me. You know what I mean? I agree. You're right. I think you have a good point there.
So basically, bro, if you can convince somebody that every single soul in Wisconsin is a fucking loser,
just because they like an opposite team,
just for existing in Wisconsin,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the sole reason is because they're not.
Yeah.
Right.
But once you got someone convinced of that, how easy is it to be like, yeah, hate the orange guy?
Yeah. Totally.
Or hate the fucking.
No, you're 100%.
Or whatever.
I think this is gospel. Again, it always seemed to be such an absurd thing that a sport totally would enrage people that much.
Yeah, but dude, once you got them hooked in, then it's real easy to just continue that binary to just whatever.
This is really stamping what he's saying quite a bit actually now.
I guess it is full circle, sort
Right?
of, huh?
Like this is
Right.
bringing this point out. Really, it hits home with what he's saying. It really drives it home.
So what's the answer, bro? We gotta stop watching basketball. We gotta stop watching football.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But again, I don't think we fall in that category. And because I personally don't hate Yankees fans, I never jumped on that train. I thought that was stupid and silly.
Right.
I think we as humans, if we don't have some distractions by our choice,
Mm-hmm.
We might go
like
insane.
This guy. You
Right.
get bitter like this fucker, right?
We might go insane. Now, the difference between maybe some of the sheep that are doing that and someone like maybe myself and you and others, we do still dig in and want to, we don't just watch sports. There's a little bit more to it where I'm still trying to understand what the truth is, and I know you are as well. Largely what this podcast is about.
Right.
Am I going to distract myself? And am I going to have a drink sometimes? Or am I going to, turn the TV on and forget about the world? Yeah, I'm going to, for sure. I'm going to pick up a guitar and not think about anything else. Yep, I'm going to do that. But it doesn't make me not privy to the shit that's going on. Or at least not curious to wanting to know the truth. So I think there's a difference there. I think there's people that are just blind to it. Maybe by choice even. And listen, in large part, I understand there's ugly shit out there. You know, I find myself, I think we've talked about this, at the same time, is it's hard sometimes. You get, fuck, really? Do I want to keep looking at this shit? Do I want to know? Do I really want to know this?
Right.
But there's no turning back at some point, Yeah. How far down that this guy's onto something? I'm gospel with you too, man.
Yeah, gospel, man.
All right. Tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Comments, they help.
It was down in the comments, man. Let us know what you think.
Spread the word.
You distracted by this?
Say goodbye to Bigfoot.
It's a boo. It's a boo 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 boo.
Until next time.